Hey guys, welcome to Lenin 8. In this video, we are going to discuss a Java program to check the two strings are anagram or not. For example, if the two strings are DAD and ADD, the primary condition to check the anagrams is the length has to be same. Number of characters in both strings has to be same. And second condition is if the number of occurrences of each character is also same. That is, in first string, D is twice, A is once. In second string also, D is twice and A is once with jumbled order. Then we can conclude they are anagrams. Another scenario, the two strings, the lengths are same. Both are four-letter words, but in first string, E is twice and in second string, E is once. Therefore, they are not anagrams. That's the meaning of the anagrams. Then how do we write a Java program for this? To understand, let us consider two strings. So string say S1 equals, same example. This is just for our understanding. Anyhow, the logic is going to be generic, so it is going to work for any two strings as well. So the string S2, I'll take it as add. After considering these two strings, whenever we are going to write the logic, what is the step-by-step approach? First step, what we supposed to do? So as we discussed, the length has to be same. So with one if condition, we can check a condition that, so here if lengths are same, then can we say they are anagrams? No. So remaining things we have to check. The number of occurrences of each character is same in both the number strings or not. But it's alternate if lengths are not same. So here we can conclude that they are not anagrams. So here is the conclusion that not anagrams. But if lengths are same, we can't conclude simply anagrams. What is the next step to check? Since both the strings are made up of characters, we have to consider one integer array. And if I name that as ARR, then what is the size of this new array or integer array? That's one important point. So it should be 26 because there are 26 alphabets are there. That's why 26. So what will happen with array as 26 elements? All will be with default values. That is default value of integer is a 0. So 26 zeros will be there. And we know that the indexing of arrays will start from 0, then 1, 2, and 3 up to 25 will be the last index. And what these zeros will represent? Each alphabets, that is A, will represent 0th index position, which is by default 0. And B and will represent first index position and the number of occurrences 0 again. Like this C and D and so on up to Z. So that's the purpose of the array. So with the help of this array, now what we are going to do? So here, this part, after considering this, inside if only, one for loop I am writing. By using this for loop, which will iterate over all the letters or all the characters of S1, that is index based on 0 to start with, int I equal to 0, then I should be less than or equals the entire S1. So S1 is a string, therefore length property. No, it's length method. Then I plus plus, each and every character of the string. What's the purpose of this one is, once we find each character of the string S1, then we are going to increment the value of that particular character's position. For example, if you are going to get S1 dot char at I, what this is going to give in our scenario, it's D. So it means we have to find the D's position. What's the position of D? 3. So if we get this character, so we are going to get D minus A value. So since A is a character, so I'm using single quotes. This entire thing is going to give D's index or ASCII value is say 100 minus A's ASCII value is 97, it's going to give 3, which is the index position of the letter D. Correct or not? That's interesting point here. Then once we are going to use this inside square brackets with array name, we are going to access its value. Its value, this is what we are going to access, 0. What we supposed to do? By using first string, increment the value. So plus plus is nothing but +1 by default. So this is the first step. Then similarly consider second position character A. The loop will do the same job and A's position will be incremented by 1. And D, again consider D, then D minus A will become again D's position, will increment its D's value by 1 more. Means at the end of this for loop, what is going to happen? So first D, so D value is 0, so it is going to increment by 1, becomes 1. Then second is A, so here A minus A means 0 position. At 0th position A is there and the value will be incremented by 1. Then again D, so D's previous value is 1, again will be incremented by 1 more, becomes 2. That is what will happen at the end of this for loop. I hope it is clear. Then if the number of characters are same, by using S2, by writing one more for loop with the help of S2, now can we decrement the values? Yeah, that's a trick. That's the logic behind this question. So again, if we use int I equals 0, because it's a different for loop, we can use the same variable. Then I should be less than or equals. So here S1 we used as a reference string. Then here we have to use the S2 dot length method on strings, then -1. So increment each value to consider each and every character of the string. So this time again S2 dot char at I minus A will give each particular alphabet's position, index position. Then if you are using this inside array, that will become its value. So previously we incremented, now we are going to decrement. Means what will happen at the end? Same thing. So in the previous scenario, the values were incremented. Now first letter of the second string S2 is A, correct? Then what should happen? A's position is 0. In that position, the value should be decremented. Now we are writing minus minus. So therefore it's going to back to 0. Then D, then D's position will be decremented by 1 for the first time. So 2 will become 1. So once again D, then 1 will become 0. It means what happened? If both are anagrams, after the two for loops, every array element has to be back to the original array called zeros. Correct? So it is happening. If it happens, we can conclude they are anagrams. If it is not happening also, again we can say they are not anagrams. That's why. So we are going to write one more for loop. So here we are going to write one more for loop. So int I equals 0 because again a separate for loop, not a nested for loop. Then I should be less than or equals. So here it is array. Therefore, more clearly, it should be a length property, not method. -1, then I plus plus. I'm going to consider each and every array element. Inside this, what is the primary thing to check? If condition, array element can be accessed by array name, square brackets, index. If it is 0, if each and every array element is 0, then what we can do? We have to continue. Continue is one control statement which is used to continue to the next iteration in loops. So if every element is 0, then it's fine. But if any chance, if any element is not 0, then in else scenario, what's the conclusion? Not anagrams. If any element is not becoming 0 after these two for loops, then it's a conclusion that not anagrams. But if entire for loop is true, then inside this outer if condition, outside the for loop, but inside this if condition, we have to conclude that they are anagrams. No? If everything is fine and if all elements are zeros, then we have to conclude that they are anagram. That's the purpose of if condition, outer if condition. Then if lengths are not same, then we have a alternate else condition. So this is the logic behind this question. I hope it is understood. So for more clarity, Let's execute through Eclipse as well.